Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Everything About Cricket, the podcast. I'm Freddie.
And I'm Oliver. And today, this is our 10th podcast. Double figures.
Yes.
We've basically just got the shambles that was the third test between England and India to talk about. We got all our usual features as well, with another guest looking to top the leaderboard. And then a quick roundup of everything else that's going on in the world of cricket a bit later on.
Yes, but as Oliver mentioned, we shall now be going on to that roller coaster of a test match, really.
Yes. I mean, there's no point going through it day by day, is there? It only lasted 2 days.
I think we should, because that'll make it a lot quicker.
It should still be going on now.
It should still be going on
forever
now.
That it ended.
But the problem is very sad is that they built a new stadium, capacity 132,000, even though capacity limit is only like 2,000 with COVID. But
no, way more than that. I'm pretty sure they're allowed half in.
Oh yeah, there was like 50,000.
They had like 50,000 in.
COVID just
they would have had 50,000 booked for the next 3 days. And now they've lost all that money.
That's unfortunate, but that's a bit of a shame. We couldn't see it packed out. I think the atmosphere was great, but really
it was still pretty good.
Yeah.
At one point they were doing a Mexican wave, and it was out then. So when it's full of 132,000, that's going to be crazy. I'm pretty sure it's been booked as earmarked as one of the venues for the IPL as well.
Oh yeah.
So you get IPL there, you got 130,000 in, all chanting like Virat Kohli or something.
Boom boom boomra.
Anyway, let's talk about the match first. Then we can talk about the other stuff.
Should we go on to two positives really out of this test. One of them being Zach Crawley into the side and scoring the only half century for England.
Yeah.
Apart from that,
pretty good in that first innings. I mean, he was just timing the ball so well. It hit his bat and then seemed to be in the boundary about 10 seconds later. Not 10, about 2 seconds later.
Honestly, Oliver, that's just a bit odd. But Dom Sibley going for another duck, along with Bairstow, who
Johnny Pear, you could say.
Johnny Bairstow. Oh, Oliver, you are a comedian.
Is that our cricket joke of the week?
That is our cricket joke of the week.
Johnny Bairstow.
Johnny Bairstow. Yeah. To be fair though, they're expecting him after dropping him from last year. Haven't played him, and that would have knocked his confidence, lost his form, and then they put him up against one of the best sides in the world, on probably the hardest wicket to play on in the world
that anyone's ever seen,
and expect to do well. I mean, it's just not really feasible. But then a pair also isn't ideal. But moving Joe Root, I mean. He looks comfortable when he got to the crease. He looked comfortable and looked like he wasn't getting out.
Yeah, in both innings, and then he just got out.
And then he just got out. I mean,
it's ridiculous. I'd never do that.
Yeah, exactly. Neither would I.
I'd either just look like I can't bat from the beginning, or I'd not get out.
Yeah, definitely. Same with me, of course. Ben Stokes, quite disappointing. I mean, he was better in the second innings, but in the first innings, which was up until it just went through before dinner. Was it dinner? I don't know.
Just after the tea break. I mean, we were 74. Just before and then just after. We were 74 for 2. Then decided that no one except Zach Crawley knew how to hold a bat and collapsed to 112 all out. Zach Crawley for just less than half our runs. Joe Root was next top scorer with 17. Ben Folkes then with 12 and Jofra Archer with 11. Axar Patel was unplayable. 6 for 38 in his second Test match. Ridiculous. Ashwin 3 for 26.
And it just, I mean, the pitch was it didn't look like a normal day-night pitch. That's the problem. That's the mistake England made. It's like, I don't even think they actually visited the pitch before the match, before they made their set.
Yeah, I mean, it was interesting to only pick one spinner on that wicket, which then spun from, well, I mean, it didn't spin most of the time, actually. That's actually how most people got out. But
yeah, but when it did spin, it spun from, it spun from Mumbai to Perth. I mean, and that's the thing, is because it spun so much, people would overcompensate, like Kohli in the last test. But Bairstow, showing how you should be social distancing between his bat and pads.
Yeah.
God, we're getting in these cricket jokes of the week. This is turning into a slaughter.
Yeah, all at Johnny Bairstow's expense.
Yes.
I don't think he should be in the Test team anyway, but that's for another day.
Another day, but they would overcompensate because of the spin and play with it, but then it wouldn't spin at all. So,
yeah, that seems to be how most people got out, because you could. I was watching a video the other day, and it was one of Ashwin's overs. All of the balls bounced sort of within a metre of each other, and then when they arrived at the batsman, all 6 of them were in completely different places. It was just impossible to predict basically what was happening. And that was all of so many of the English and Indian batsmen.
Although India had about 2 extra batsmen more who actually knew how to hold a bat, which always does help.
Yeah, I mean, when you got Jofra Archer batting at 8.
And who also is your 4th highest scorer, with his form of Test match batting is not great. I mean, that it's not very good.
Yeah,
but
I mean, the shot.
Moving on to
the shot that Archer got out to in the first innings, I think shows why he's batting way too high at number 8.
Yes.
I mean, he was late on like just a normal ball from a spinner. Playing
in that time.
Sorry.
I could have had my tea in that time. But I think moving on into normally we would, because on in India wicket you'd bat for a day and a half and then let the other guys bat for a day. But not even moving on to day 2, moving on to the second innings after tea. It didn't start very well. It's
for England,
because we wanted those quick wickets, but it got to about 90 odd for 3 with Pujara going for a duck. Really gave us hope, but Virat Kohli seemed like he was going to settle in with Sharma. Gill going for only 11, but once he went, nothing. I mean,
it was a crazy once Kohli went. Joe Root 5 for 8 off 6.2 overs, which I think.
I mean, can we just mention? Yeah, can we just put aside this part of the podcast for Joe Root's amazing. Yes, Root's first ever fifer. I mean, he should be Prime Minister. He would get he could get us through any trouble. In Joe Root we trust with the ball. Give him the ball, save the Test match.
Yeah, that ball to Washington Sundar was almost. I mean, that's the kind of ball you expect from Ashwin.
No, I thought Axar had come off, had just accidentally stayed on the pitch and was bowling.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think Root could have asked for better conditions for him bowling. Bowling at 2 tail end left-handers as a right arm off spin bowler on a pitch that is the most spin friendly pitch you could probably imagine. He's never going to get a better chance than that. And to be fair to him, he took his chance. 5 for 8. Jack Leach also brilliant. 4 for 54. At one point, it looked like Jack Leach maybe could get the last 9 wickets all by himself.
I was about to say I felt sorry for Jack because he was the only one getting the wickets, apart from Archer's first one, and he was thinking, I could get a really high wicket taking match here, and because he was the only spin bowler, so we were just going to get everything. But then Joe Root comes in and just snatches 5 wickets away from him. I mean, it was quite funny with the expense of Jack Leach.
Yeah, Kohli got 27 for India, and then Rohit Sharma again was class, 66. He's in great form.
Yeah, but after that, the hope for England was through the roof. We had such high hopes for what could happen.
England, then the second innings started. First 3 balls of the second innings. First ball, Crawley gone. Second ball, Bairstow given out, reviews. He's just going over after he's taken a massive slog at his first ball. Second ball, he gets out anyway. Massive gap between bat and pad. 1 slide straight through. He's bowled by Patel, who missed out on a hat-trick. If the review hadn't overturned the decision, he'd have got a hat-trick in just his second game.
Yes. All we were saying, all we needed England is all we needed was 200 runs, and we would have been in a great chance to win the match. I think Ben Stokes had the best approach to it. He took the attack bowlers, which on that pitch you can't sit back and just hope that you're not going to get a good nut because something's just gonna spin out of nowhere. So you do have to be on the offensive, I would say, to get a good score. But although there's that, and then there's Dom Sibley. Yeah,
that was very un-Sibley. Massive hoik.
You're 0 for 2, like 0 for 2. Settle in here, all right? No, I'm gonna hoik it the cow corner and completely miss it, but clip it with the toe of my bat and then review it confidently, like I have never touched it.
Yeah,
it wasn't Dom Sibley. I thought it was an imposter, really.
Yeah, it was so weird against the spin as well. Just
if England were playing among us, it would be pretty clear to see who the imposter was. But it's just so odd of him.
Yeah, but that England innings, Stokes top scorer with 25, Joe Root 19, Ollie Pope 12, the only men over 10, 81 all out off 30 overs. Axar Patel again was ridiculous, 5 for 32, Ashwin 4 for 48, and then Washington Sundar. India clearly felt bad for him. He didn't bowl a ball in the first innings, got out for a duck in the second innings.
Yeah.
The bowler Anderson in the third, and he picked up a wicket with his 4th ball, which ended up being his last ball of the match. The very definition of a TFC there for Washington Sundar.
It was a big TFC there. Although I think Johnny Bairstow was more of a TFC.
But at least he had a chance to do something.
Yeah, he had a chance, but I think he just kind of got lost. He wandered onto the pitch. And
he forgot where the ball was.
We wanted to make sure he wasn't getting COVID from the ball, so social distancing in place. But I think it's going to be a game which they will quickly forget England and move on.
I would hope so.
Where is this next test going to be then, Oliver?
It is at the same ground, hopefully.
Oh, lovely. I think if Root wins the toss again, he will not be batting first.
Well, it depends. Imagine if England picked like 4 spinners plus Ben Stokes. Then it turns out the pitch is like the first test pitch and is an absolute road for the first 2.5 days.
That would be England's luck, wouldn't it? But should we go on to the umpiring?
Yeah, if you want.
I've kind of forgotten how many bad decisions there were. The people were saying Joe Root. It was very debatable. with the Indian commentators thinking that there wasn't any bat involved, and even the English commentator was a bit he wasn't sure what had happened, but he rightfully stated that it has made it sort of even with what has happened during the series.
Mm-hmm.
But the problem was that Joe Root's LBW, he was soon out anyway, but from one angle it looked like he had smiddled it onto his pad, and then from another angle it looked like he hadn't even hit it. So
yeah, I mean, it was almost an impossible decision to make.
You will want to be.
I do think the right decision was made. It's probably just because I'm English and it's Joe Root, but I think there was enough there to say that he probably did hit it. Yeah. And then the only other one was the Ben Stokes catch, which again, and the Pujara catch as well, to dismiss Leach. I think the Ben Stokes catch, the right decision was made, but maybe in the wrong way.
Yeah, they only the thing is that it was definitely, I think it was grounded, but the thing is there was a possibility of a finger being under the ball, but they didn't check it, and they just overlooked that, and they only used one slide, and you have to check. They definitely have multiple angles. They definitely had multiple angles. They've had it for every other referral, so they definitely had. So you have to use them. You can't just say, because you couldn't see his. I think it was his middle finger. You couldn't see it. You couldn't if it was under the ball or not. But it probably was.
I think that would have been fine just checking one angle. But the only thing was that in the first innings there had been a very similar one when England were batting, and they checked about 6 different angles, and in the end it was given out. So I think that was always going to spark controversy, really. But as I said, I think the right decision was made.
Leach's was different. I didn't see Leach's more detail, but then there was also another stumping which should have been out.
That wasn't out.
I didn't see it, but I heard the umpire say there was a stumping which should have been out. The commentator said stumping should have been out. So,
well, there was a stumping chance, and basically Rohit Sharma's foot moved up, but there was no gap on the camera between his foot and the floor. So the foot moved up, but was still on the floor, just slightly less on the floor, if that makes sense. So I think it probably was the right decision. But again, they seemed to just get on with it very quickly when maybe they could have had another look at it. But do you want to talk about the pitch? Because I have quite a bit to say about it.
What? I've got a rant prepared.
Yeah.
Okay. So, before I release you from the leash, I will just mention that you might want to turn the volume down. Anyone listening? So, without further ado, go ahead, Oliver.
Okay. So
your PowerPoint is loading.
Sorry.
Your PowerPoint's just loading.
So basically, I have no problem with India creating spin-friendly pitches. I have no problem with the pitch for the second test because it was clear that it was possible to bat on, because both Rohit Sharma and Ashwin made hundreds, and England, a couple of players looked fairly comfortable on it. India just bowled well. But this pitch, I mean, as I've already said, you could bowl six balls in exactly the same place and they'd all do 6 different things. No one ever looked comfortable, really, on the pitch, except Crawley. But he was batting mostly against Seam and Rohit Sharma. But he was also batting against Seam quite a bit. And also he's just in good touch and was pretty much under no pressure whatsoever, thanks to England's, low scores, 192 runs in the match combined, I think. And when you've got two of the world's best teams playing a test match and it's finished in 2 days, there's clearly something wrong, and it's not the players' abilities. Because, I mean, these are the world's best players. Virat Kohli and Joe Root are two of the world's best players of spin bowling. And they both looked hopeless on this pitch. All the batsmen look pretty much like club players. And I think they don't even have an excuse for the pitch being so bad. It was the first international game ever at the stadium. And I think when you've got a test match with such quality players that finishes in 2 days, when no one could bat on it, I think there have got to be questions asked about how a pitch that poor can be prepared. That being said, I don't think the pitch was the reason England lost. England would have lost regardless.
Yeah.
India well. Axar 11 wickets in the match. Ashwin 7, I think, or maybe 7. England would have lost even if it was a better pitch. But we could have at least seen a decent match rather than a game that by the end had pretty much turned into a farce. There was not really much point watching, to be honest, at the end.
It was the only day-nighter where you could get up at reasonable hours to watch a good chunk of Test match cricket on Freeview telly. So that was a bit disappointing as well. But you can go ahead and make a pitch to suit your side's play, but I don't think that pitch would suit your side. They only got 140. I don't think that's really suiting the side. So it did look a bit like a garden pitch with some gravel put on it. But I do think.
I mean, it was like in the second session of the match, they were getting the groundsman on the pitch with a dustpan and brush sweeping up dust from the crease because the bowlers couldn't like step on the crease without their ankles twisting.
Yeah. So there's obviously a bit of a risk to injury as well. There. So they've got a great facility in the stadium, amazing stadium, but an awful wicket, I'm not sure what the groundsmen are doing, but either they've got a bad patch of land to work with, which is a waste of 132,000 seats. Sorry for the IPL team who's going to be having their home games there.
Yeah, it's just a shame, really, that such a good opportunity for Test cricket to show off, basically. You got two of the best teams in the world playing in the biggest stadium in the world. It's on free-to-air television in reasonable hours, 9 a.m. till 4 in the afternoon. Mm-hmm. And the game's over in 2 days. And all you've got to see is players walking back to the pavilion most of the time.
I think that took up more hours of advert time.
Yeah, there's more adverts than cricket.
Because each advert comes up when there's a wicket. So, it's definitely the reason England lost. But, if they had a good 200, so a lead of 170, it would have been very interesting, the match.
Yeah. And, I'm sure the pitch for the fourth test will be similar.
So
hopefully it's more of a normal cricket international pitch where you can at least bat on it for a day.
Or at least where we win.
Not looking like a day 5 pitch by the second session of the match. I'm not feeling hopeful for the final test. If India win or draw, I think they will qualify for the World Test Championship final.
We're out of the final. We can't get into the final now because the team who had to get into the final, a team had to win the series. And obviously now with one test match remaining, why have a 4-match series? That's completely pointless because then you're just increasing the chances of a draw. I don't know what that's about. It's only come about recently with 2 and 4-match series.
Yeah.
I don't know why, because you can't really get a good result from that all the time. But
if England win, Australia qualify. If India win or draw, India qualify.
Although I don't think a draw is in the question on that pitch.
But who knows?
Yeah.
Different. But they're not feeling hopeful for England. They've shown no signs of being able to bat, really. Again, when the ball's spinning. other than that first innings of the whole series, they've looked hopeless. And that first innings of the series was when the pitch was an absolute road and was doing absolutely nothing. So, yeah.
More of that, please, groundsman.
Yeah, we'd better hope we get a pitch like that, win the toss, and Joe Root wants to make some runs. But that's all I have to say about the game. So unless you have anything else, I think we'll end it there.
No, I didn't. I didn't prepare my rant really for today, but I think the title, instead of Freddie's angry like last week, it's probably Oliver.
Yeah.
But yeah, just hoping we can get a result. Because getting a draw away from home in India would be an amazing result, really, when everyone thought we were going to be whitewashed. So,
yeah.
2-1. Well, actually, it's probably going to be either 3-1 or 2-2. It's not going to be 2-1. Because no way a team can, or both teams can get a draw back 5 days on that pitch when wouldn't have been able to do barely 2. But I think we can just only hope that and get or even put up a good fight for the next match.
Yeah, I just want to see England score over 200, really.
I would say 300, but that would be a bit ambitious on that pitch.
I mean, be realistic, Freddie.
And welcome back to Guess the Cricketer. Now it is my turn to guess. Oliver is posing someone for me. What's the score? 7-6?
7-6 to me. I think it's like 4 goes.
I think about 4 goes, a 3-pointer. Only I have got a 3-pointer, sorry. Only I've got a 3-pointer. I won't be surprised.
Backed it up.
Huh?
You haven't backed it up. I've been more consistent. 3 2s and a 1.
So I'm like that guy who's always on the bench warming up, and then he just comes on in the 89th minute and scores a screamer, you know, for that the glorious moment. But I'm sure I could score 4 points if I wanted to, really.
Yeah.
But,
yeah, probably.
But we have decided that it can't be like a Pakistan under-15 cricketer. It must be someone who you know without. So we did finalise the rules there. After last week's amazing guess from Oliver, from stereotyping the names, which also worked for our guest this week. So
did
very well.
So we'll get straight into it with the first clue.
Ooh, let's go. 3-pointer.
Okay.
Definitely.
This Englishman made his debut against New Zealand in 2019. His international debut.
As in what format?
I don't know. That's up to you to decide.
Oh, thanks. So okay, I'm going to go through my process of thoughts.
Yeah.
So who played against you? I swear Milan played, but he played way before 2019. So he played in the series, but he's out. Stokes played in the 2019 series with New Zealand, but then he got injured with the Test series. But I don't even think you knew he did. So
neither of the two people you've said so far played in the 2019 series against New Zealand.
Well, it depends what series you're talking about. You're really misleading me here, Oliver.
Okay, but I presume you're talking about the Test series.
Yes.
Yeah, neither of them played in the Test series.
See, I was just testing the water there. But Ollie Pope was before 2019.
He was.
Yeah. So I think Ben Stokes was also before 2019.
Just a bit, yeah.
I mean, he's also from New Zealand.
Come on, it's the first clue. Just get on with it, or.
All right. I think he's probably not in the Test side anymore. Oh wait, it could be. Is it Mr. Or should I go for him?
Yes.
Zachary Crawley.
No.
Oh, okay.
He debuted in 2020. Okay, second clue. This man is currently playing for Peshawar Zalmi in the Pakistan Super League, and interestingly enough, took 3 for 12 this morning off 2 overs.
This morning?
Yeah.
Right, because they were live streaming yesterday, Sky, weren't they?
Yeah, they played yesterday and today. And this
was it the same team who played yesterday?
Well, what do you mean?
As in the same team who they were live streaming yesterday?
Yeah.
Was it actually?
Zalmi. They wear yellow, that team.
Oh, I was thinking of Joe Denley, but it's not him, is it? That's unfortunate. So you haven't even told me what he does, but English cricketer. So you've really made it that it's going to be only obvious at the last 1 point with the clues.
Well, that's kind of the point, isn't it?
Yeah, so did I. That's what I did for you last week.
Oh yeah, really obvious.
Yeah. I don't know who's in the Pakistan Super League. Okay, I'm trying to think of who made their debut against New Zealand. It's definitely not Dom Sibley. Don't be like that. Don't shrug. I know it's not Dom Sibley because one, he was just playing in India. Why would he get a free for in a T20? And 3, why would someone buy him for a T20? Unless they want to get roughly 5 in the innings, then.
Well, someone bought Pujara in the IPL.
Yes, but that's understandable because that's the Indian Premier League. Like, he gets picked for the English one, but I don't think he'll be picked for any foreign ones, overseas ones. But I think it's going to be the longest game of Guess the Cricketer so far.
Yeah, only because you're taking so long.
Well, I don't even know who to guess.
Last week's was pretty long, to be fair, because I had that massive rant.
Yeah. Thing is, before I had about 3 0-pointers, so I think it leveled itself out.
Mm-hmm.
So, he's not in the team anymore. I know that because otherwise he'll be in India. You see, you haven't told me what he does. You haven't told me what he does. You're so annoying. Honestly. Okay. So funny enough, you said funny enough getting 3 wickets. So that makes me think he's a batsman majority on the majority. So.
Okay. It was a coincidence that this person had played this morning and done quite well.
Why wasn't I watching it? Why wasn't I watching it?
Don't know. You don't really have any excuse.
Well, I was sleeping. I was getting my beauty sleep. But I don't even have anyone I can guess, really. Who else was the people who debuted in 2019? I don't. Okay, fine. Joe Denley.
It is not Joe Denley.
I know it's not Joe
Your
Denley.
third and final clue is this man is a fast bowler who plays for Lancashire in county cricket and hasn't played a test match for England.
You made me think it was the test match.
How did I make you think that? I didn't say anything to make you think that.
Well, you kind of say you're thinking about the test match, aren't you? And then you said they weren't playing in that, so it just kind of made me think test match. But so we've got a couple people who it could be who debuted in 2019.
Which are these people?
Well, they are Reece Topley.
Okay.
The other one was Mahmood, but he debuted in 2020, didn't he? So.
Or did he?
Don't do that. Do that.
Well, that's the decision you've got to make.
It's between these 2 people. I don't even think it was these 2 people. I'm going to get a 0-pointer, aren't I?
Well, I think they play for Lancashire. They're playing in the Pakistan Super League at the moment.
Because I don't know who. I'm not really good at who plays for who in English counties. Really, I'm not actually very good at that. I do need to top up on it. Really. That's what I should do after this. But should I go out on a limb and go Topley? Do you think so, Oliver? Should I go Topley?
I mean, it's completely up to you. I will tell you have said their name.
Oh, you're making me. So it's definitely Mahmood or Topley then, isn't it? Unless it's Denley and you're just putting my leg.
It's not Denley. He debuted before 2019, I'm pretty sure. He played in Sri Lanka in a T20.
Wait, no, doesn't Reece Topley? Didn't he play for Sussex last year? And then he moved to Surrey. And I was quite annoyed about it. So if he plays for Lancashire, it can't be him.
Well, unless Topley plays for Lancashire.
But I've just said he doesn't.
Well, it depends. It depends how sure you are that that's right.
I would say, do you want a percentage?
I'd want nothing more.
About 78.5%.
78.5% sure.
Yeah, I mean, that is how certain I am. So I think it might be moved, but I thought he debuted in 2020 against Ireland in the COVID bubble.
Well, this is the decision you have to make. And preferably decision you'd make quite soon.
No, I've got all day, really. I've got all day.
Well, I mean, only if you want this episode to be like an hour and a half long and no one to listen to it.
Okay, fine. Just because of that. So it's Mahmood or Reece Topley because you said I've said his name. Thanks for that.
You haven't said other people's names though.
Okay, but I'm not going to listen to you there, just because I think you're trying to put me off. But I thought Topley went to Surrey, and I remember being annoyed about it because someone.
You're 78.5% sure.
Yeah, I'm 78.5% sure.
But that still leaves another 21.5%.
Stop doing that. Stop playing with my head. So it's either Mahmood or him. So, but I swear he debuted in 2020. Oh no, did he just play in 2020? He played in 2020. He might have debuted in 2019. You know what? 78.5% sure is pretty good. So I will go for Mahmood.
And you'd be correct for 1 point.
That's like so much effort for 1 point.
To be fair, at first I thought he debuted in 2020 as well. But he played in the T20 series against New Zealand in 2019.
Right.
When it was like him, Gregory, and Parkinson debuted then at the same time.
God, if you said Parkinson or Gregory, I would have been so stuffed for that.
Parkinson's also Lancashire. So
right.
If Parkinson had debuted then, you could have been torn between those two. But he's a leg spin.
Oh, he's a leg spin. You said fast bowler. You finally told me. That made me get to Mahmood or Topley.
Okay, so it's.
I was very certain it was 78.5% sure he went to Surrey.
Yeah, he did. I'm pretty sure he played. I think he played for England like 6 years ago or something. Topley. Then got good, and then finally came back in last year.
Yeah.
But that's 1 point. Could be crucial. Gets it back to 7-7, and any points I get next week put me back in the lead
once again.
So I'm hoping for a big 3-pointer.
And this week, our guest is another good chum of ours. Would you please introduce yourself?
Hello, I'm Qriket, and I'm not a cricket player.
Okay. What is your cricket experience so far?
Well, I did actually make it. I did actually move up to the D team once.
Oh.
So
that was a round of applause.
then I got moved to the E team again, like next week.
Were you a bowler, batter?
Fielder.
I mean, I was mainly just tucked away in the corner. So yeah, fielder.
Leg. Okay, so at the moment, Alex is top of the leaderboard with 6 out of 10. David's at the bottom with 4.5 out of 10. What are you aiming for?
If I could say I got the same in a test as David, then imagine.
That would.
So yeah, I'm gonna say that.
Okay, aiming high. Okay, so it's out of 10. There are 8 questions. One of them's worth 3 marks. Let's get into it. I'll take the first question, which is, can you name 3 Indian cricketers? You get 1 mark for each.
I did remember one,
Okay.
which was, I think it was like Virat, or was it Virat?
Yep.
Virat Kohli or something.
Yeah, we'll give you that. It's Virat Kohli.
Virat Kohli, we'll give you it.
Close enough.
Any others? Go for what Oliver did in the recent Guess the Cricketer. Go for some stereotypical names.
Raj Hashmir.
No.
Is that what you meant?
We just need surname. If you just say a surname.
Oh, Singh.
Oh, and there it is.
No way.
Yeah, well, there are about 20 Indian cricketers called Singh, but the most famous would probably be Yuvraj Singh or Harbhajan Singh.
Yeah.
And that's your 3 guesses, so 2 out of 3.
Obviously, the very stereotypical one is Washington.
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah, but anyway, Kieran, 2 out of 3 for the first one. You're halfway there to David's score. So, question 2. Who was Australia's former captain before the current one, who is Tim Payne? Who was the one before Tim Payne?
Oh my God.
You may know him from the sandpaper scandal, known as Smudger.
Or he might just be the only Australian you've heard of, because he's quite famous.
Go for typical English name. Guess typical English name.
How many guesses at this typical English name do I get?
1.
Oh, we have to take it on.
But again, we only need surname.
Yeah. Very typical. Stereotypical.
Smith.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah.
No way.
Correct. Steve Smith.
The most typical English name you could get.
So far, I've got Singh and Smith, and that.
It works for you. Going for stereotypical names. I mean, it works.
Okay, question 3 is, England recently played India at the new stadium in Ahmedabad, which is the largest cricket stadium in the world. But the question is, what is the capacity of the stadium? And we'll give you within 10,000 either side.
80,000 people.
Oh, no.
132,000.
Which is massive.
Absolutely ginormous.
Wow, you learn something every day.
Anyway, moving on to question 4. Who is currently contesting the PayTM trophy?
So it's 2 international cricket teams, and they are competing for the PayTM trophy.
You get half a mark for each team.
Yeah.
India.
Yes.
Right. I don't know, like Pakistan.
No. So you get half a mark. It's England.
Half.
England and India.
Yeah.
I was going to say England. Oh,
What's
well.
the shame you didn't?
Oh, really?
Oh. Well, anyway. So you're 3.5. Up to 3.5.
Yeah. Just 1 mark below David. And question 5 is, which English cricketer recently took his first 5-wicket haul in Test match cricket?
Is it the mighty? What's his name again?
The mighty, what's his name again?
He's more famous for his batting than his bowling. If that helps at all.
Do I get any grace, or is it just one attempt?
One attempt.
Well, just one attempt. But it's one of the people you were talking about before we started recording.
Is it Joe Root?
It is indeed.
Rooty Joe.
You are now equal to David's score.
That's ridiculous.
Incredible. Now you can say you're as smart as David.
Yeah.
But moving on to question 6. Which team won the 2015 ODI World Cup?
So it's a country.
Just any country. Just a country. You can name.
Pakistan.
No.
No.
It's Australia.
Oh.
Okay, question 7 is, which English bowler was hit for 4 consecutive sixes in the final over of the World Cup final in 2016 to lose the game for England?
It was another player you were talking about.
Yeah.
Is it the Benny Stokers?
It is the Benny Stokers.
The Benny Stokers, yes.
And you're currently on 5.5. There's 1 question left. If you get it right, then you will go top of the leaderboard.
Oh, Christ. All right.
Alex is once again listening intently.
I doubt.
Anyway, question 8. This is your final question to go top of the leaderboard. Kieran, which county play at Chelmsford? Bit of geography.
Oh.
It's an English county, and they play their home games in Chelmsford.
Bit of geography.
Yeah, sort of.
It's very tense at the moment in the studio.
Yeah, the studio.
Yeah.
Studio. It was against someone else in the previous episode.
You might as well just guess an English county.
Unless he knows where Chelmsford is. If you know where Chelmsford is, then...
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah.
Chelmsford. Chelm.
Yes, because Chelm's going to help you locate the county.
The third letter of Chelmsford is an E.
It is an E.
It is.
Would it be
any county with E?
Would it be
county with a...
Say it.
Essex.
Oh my God!
He's gone and done it.
Got it.
He's gone and done it.
Nice. I need to decline Rev Pete's call. Hang on. There we go.
Okay, so Kieran, how does it feel to now be top of the leaderboard?
I am utterly honoured that I beat David, and I also beat Alex, which was pretty good as well.
You also beat Theo and Polly.
I beat Polly.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
So who would you like to thank in your speech?
Joey Rutus, I don't know.
Ben Stokesy, however you named him.
Can't remember. I think it was just Benny Stoke.
Penny Stoke.
And Sting as well.
Sting as well.
Sing and Smith, they did it for me.
They did it for you. But congratulations, Kieran. You are now top of the leaderboard.
Yeah, well
Cheers.
done. And next week we'll have another guest. If anyone thinks they can beat Kieran's score of 6.5 out of 10, let us know and we'll get you on. But thank you, Kieran.
Thank you, Kieran.
Hope you enjoyed.
I did enjoy.
Well, that's good. And that's all for this week. And now do a quick summary of cricket around the world. Not much going on. New Zealand and Australia interlocked in a 5-match T20 series. 2 games in, New Zealand have won both of them. First one very comfortably, second one not quite as comfortably. Devon Conway, 99, not out, heartbreaking in the first T20.
Milan vibe.
Sorry?
Milan vibes there.
Yeah. And then he powered New Zealand to a score of 184. Australia fell 53 runs short thanks to 4 wickets from Ish Sodhi.
Can I just say, Australia bowled 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 bowlers in that T20. I mean, you wouldn't do that in a test match, let alone when you only have 20 overs.
That is incredible. Thank you.
Yes.
Thanks for alerting everyone to that fact.
New Zealand 6. I mean, what is this world coming to? You only need like 5 bowlers.
Yeah, but most teams bowl 6.
Yeah, but not 7. God.
Freddie is outraged.
I'm outraged. Disgraceful.
It's angry Freddie again. Second T20, New Zealand again batting first, got 219 for 7, thanks to 97 from Guptill, 53 from Williamson, and a very quick 45 off just 16 from Jimmy Neesham.
Also, it was a very quick first ball duck from Mitchell Santner.
Even quicker. Australia, in reply, got close, finishing on just 215, thanks mainly to 78 off 37 from Stoinis, a brilliant innings, as well as 41 off just 15 from Daniel Sams, and 45 off 32 for Josh Philippi in just his second T20. 3 more to go. I'm pretty sure I've seen, as of today, they'll all be behind closed doors. There has been 1 case in New Zealand.
Shut it down now. Shut the island down now. Outrageous.
Well, I mean, it kind of makes sense because they did have no cases, so they're going to want to keep it that way.
Fair play to them. They've done well to get to no cases, so keep it like that, please, because we want one place in the world having cricket.
Exactly. And there's just one other series going on at the moment, which is England women against New Zealand women.
Really?
Yeah, a 3-match ODI series followed by
England are winning.
20s. Yes, they are. England women currently 2-0 up in the series. They've won both games comfortably. First game by 8 wickets, chased 181 with 16 overs left, wickets left, thanks to 50s from Tammy Beaumont and Heather Knight. And second ODI was won by 7 wickets after another great bowling performance, bowling New Zealand out for 192, 3 wickets for Siver, 2 for Brunt, 2 for Glenn, 1 for Cross. And then Tammy Beaumont again in the runs, as well as Nat Siver and Amy Jones. So I think the third ODI is either tonight or tomorrow night. England looking for a series whitewash.
Yes, we would love that, wouldn't we?
Yes, we would.
But that is cricket around the world. Good, quick catch up. We have received some comments saying that it's a very enjoyable part, which doesn't take for ages to go on before. But we will continue it if you enjoyed this one. So thank you. That is it for today. Thank you, Oliver.
Thanks, Freddie. Hope you all enjoyed watching/listening. Tune in next week if you
I don't know how they'll be watching. That'll be a bit weird.
Yeah.
Just check the studio if anyone's watching. I'll be a bit worried if they were able to watch this. But anyway.
Thanks for listening. Hope you enjoyed. Tune in next week if you did, and even if you didn't, because if you didn't, then it will be better next week.
Yes, we do apologise. We will send you a complimentary gift package to compensate.
Exactly.
Delivery's a bit iffy at the moment. It might not arrive, but
ever. It might accidentally get lost over Russia. Like and subscribe. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.